cars. It's a cold day, but I guess if you're inside of a car, you don't really notice. All right, see if I can get across. There we go. I made it. All right. Now, the purpose of the ride today is to use my original battery and take it on the same ride at the same temperature that my second battery I got was. What we want to do is see the difference and how much power is left at the end of the ride. The last one ended at around 70. So this one I'm expecting to end in the 80s. So let's see how we do. I expect it to be the higher 80s, but people online in my comments are telling me that if I get 87% when the temperature is 70 degrees, that when the temperature is closer to freezing, that I won't get nearly as far. Now, I'm pretty sure that I agree with the part that you're not going to get as far. The question is how much not as far do you get? If I was at 87, does it go down to 85? Or does it go down to 80? Or does it go all the way down to 70? So that's what the test today is to determine, is how close to the second battery does the first battery get. Now, I have greater confidence in the first battery. I feel as if it will easily make the in the 80s. But then again, feeling is not as good as the actual test. So that's the reason we're doing the test. We're taking the exact same route. As best I can take the exact same route. So I believe my other one, I ended up at 11.2 miles. According to my Garmin. So when I finish this, I'll look at see if how close to 11.2 miles I am. It should be really close. Should be about the same, I would think, but maybe not. I'm going to try to follow the same path. One of the problems is it's really hard for me to be able to tell which Garmin route I select, whether it's the same one or not. I kind of know the route, so if the Garmin starts giving me different things, then I'm going to be off the Garmin route. There's a lot more traffic today. I don't know if that'll play much of a role in the mileage, but so far I've had to stop a whole lot more non-moving than what I did. Now my tire pressure, I checked it today right before I left, and it amazingly looks like the same, even though it's been several days. It's the tire pressure was 19 in the front and 18.5 in the back, which is what I thought it was originally on the last run. So it didn't look like it changed any, which seems a little strange because I figured it would. Last time I averaged 12 miles per hour. So it'll be interesting to see the average miles per hour on this trip. Part of the average, I'm assuming, is how long you stay stopped at a particular stop sign or a road crossing. Since traffic has so far been a bit heavier today, I'm thinking I'll be spending a bit more time at stop signs or street crossings. So far, the Garmin route is exactly the same as the other route. which is, now we're very beginning into this, so that doesn't mean that much. I tried to carry the same rate, so I'm carrying my second battery. Because I wanted to get about the same weight. The sun is about in the same position, so I think the wind is higher though. The wind today is about 5 miles per hour, where I believe it was at 3 miles per hour last time. So that may play a little bit of a role. At least it's going to play a little bit of a role in how cold I get. Already my cheeks are cold. My fingers are doing pretty good so far though. I got the postman. Now, I don't expect that I'm going to have much of this video. This video will probably be less than 10 minutes. I'm just going to be riding along. It's mainly for the beginning, explaining what I'm doing, and then the ending when we get to the results. Well, we had a little bit less of a delay there. Looks like I'll be able to cut across here. My knees hurt a little bit more today, although I'm still going to try to pedal as much because that is very significant in determining mileage. That's how much my own power am I contributing to the movement. Now, last time, if I remember correct, I remember just pedaling at a normal pace down this road. I didn't try to go all out, so I was going about 26 to 28 miles through part of this. Hey, so we'll see how I do. For some reason my mirror is not right, and that didn't help that much. I like seeing the cars behind me as they approach, and I can't quite do that. Doesn't look like I have any traffic, so that's good. All right, this looks like the turn. No traffic behind me. So that went about the same as it did the first time, so that's good. And we shouldn't have any more spots. It's going to be very, I don't think I have any other places where I have to ride fast except for that one spot. Yeah, this Garmin looks to be the same. Looks like it's turning me the same directions and everything. Now, it hasn't rained since the last time I was out, so it's just cold. I watched a video this morning of a person who went riding in the snow. I enjoyed the video. It was really cool. He had problems though, which made me laugh, which maybe I'm a evil person, but it was still funny watching some of these things. I was thinking, yeah, that would happen to me too. He ended up riding through at 28 degrees with 10-15 mile per hour winds. He rides through some water puddles. And of course, if you're going to do that in 28 degree weather with 10 mile per hour winds, not counting the 20 mile per hour you're going on a bike, you're going to have stuff freeze on your bike. And he was no longer able to pedal. He had to throttle the rest of the way in. So anyway, I thought that was funny. I wouldn't like to have been in that situation. He's riding in a little bit colder weather than me, so his hands were freezing. Well, my hands are freezing, so freezing hands not, but I imagine his were freezing even more than mine. My fingers are exposed though. I have some gloves in which they are not exposed, but even though they said they work well with a iPhone, it did not work well with my iPhone. So I've ordered some other gloves so I don't have to expose my fingers and freeze to death all winter. And they also are supposed to work with iPhone, or so they say. Hopefully they're right this time. Otherwise, I'll just have to take my gloves off whenever I need to use the iPhone. Which I don't use that often. I enjoy my bike rides. I love these things. Even though I'm cold, still loving it. Just wish I wasn't cold. That's all right. I can handle a bit of cold, I think. Hey. My nose usually isn't all that thrilled about the cold, though. It starts having little fits. But last time it did take me but just a few minutes to recover. Once I got inside the house where it was warm, I warmed up pretty quickly. So I guess I'm not going to worry about it too much. That person there was trying to protect her bushes by putting a frost thing on it. Yeah, we had frost this morning and yesterday for that matter. So, cold days in South Carolina. Now, we'll frequently, even in the winter, we'll have days where we never get below freezing. But we've been getting below freezing here. We're not even in the winter yet. I was hoping I was going to have some 70-degree weather sometime soon so I could test this warmer weather riding. Except for the fact that I looked at the 14-day forecast and and we don't even get into the high 60s. I think we got 61 one day projected. So yeah, I can't do a 70-degree weather test anytime soon. I guess I did that during the summer anyway, but I was trying to do something closer to now so I could test the battery out a little bit more accurately instead of using a 2-month-old test. I notice I trust cars a little bit more than what I did when I first started. I'm not sure if I should be trusting them a little bit more. I see them coming and I just keep riding and they pass me, and that's what's been happening. So as things keep happening like that, you get to where you start trusting these guys a little bit more. And then I guess you get whammo and end up in the hospital. Yeah. I'll just try not to do anything more risky than I need to take, and I should be okay, hopefully. You know, sometimes you sit back and you wonder, risk versus reward, but yeah, my whole life I've always taken a bit of risk on certain things, and so this is one of those things that I feel like the risk is worth the reward. Hopefully nothing will happen more than me just falling. Getting hit by a car would be probably a bit of time in the hospital if I survive. Yeah, that car turned, so I look safe. Across the street. This is an interesting neighborhood here. I had mentioned in one of my videos that it looks a lot like my home that I grew up in the really early ages, between, see what year, maybe I guess I would be 2 years old all the way up until 12 years old, 13, somewhere around there anyway. This neighborhood looks a little bit like that neighborhood. Hilly, houses fairly close together. Occasional garages, but not that many. I believe my house had a garage, one-car garage, that I grew up in. It's been a long time ago. Memory fades. I tried about, how long ago was that? Probably 15 years ago to find my neighborhood. And I found it. Took a while, but I did find it. So that was interesting. It changed a bit, but a lot of it was the same as I remembered. The main thing that changed was the gigantic hills we used to have in our neighborhood shrunk. They're a lot smaller now. And so I remember sledding down the icy mountain down in front of my house. And now that I go there and look at the mountain is really just a very tiny hill. So, yeah, things change. I didn't know landscapes would change like that, but I can remember it plain as day that it's a gigantic hill. And it looks like a very tiny hill now. It was so huge that when we got a ice storm, cars would slide off to the left and right going up the hill. So it was always fun watching them. That was the entertainment we did as kids. We didn't have any electronic devices, so we had to watch real life happen. I haven't got to test out my horn yet. I get to it fairly quick, but I haven't tested it out against any dogs that were actually chasing me. I tested it against a dog that was trapped inside of a fence, and he just totally ignored me. But he wasn't as motivated as a dog that's actually chasing you, so. Cleaning up some of that pine straw, that's cool. Looks like a lot of people were working on the yards today. It's like last time we were out, everybody was working, cutting down trees with cranes. This time people are cutting grass. Guess there's always themes. Yeah, I believe this is the street with the skeleton on it, sitting on the front porch. See if we can find him. I hear a dog. Not chasing me though. Yeah, there's the skeleton on the front porch. See him? Looks like he's all happy. It looks like my battery is doing pretty good. Although I can say with pretty certainty that I don't think I'm going to hit 87. I think it's going to be below that. So we'll see how we do. I'm enjoying this testing. I'm enjoying the sun right now. Woo! Nice sun. Oh, here's the dogs. Well, they didn't bark. I don't know. Is that the same as working? I don't know. They didn't seem as enthused. I mean, the first few times I came by, they were really enthusiastic, but last time they weren't very enthused, and they didn't even bark that time. Maybe they're getting used to me. Or maybe the horn works. But I doubt it. Or I doubt that that's the reason. Yeah, one of the things that I talked about last time was the fact that I really am a pack rat where I don't like giving up anything once I get it. The battery didn't do as good as I would have liked for it to do, but I'm still contemplating about giving it another shot. I kind of want to take it on a 22-mile route to see if I can finish the 22 miles or whether it can't finish 22 miles. I have a 22-mile route that I have been on before, in which the first battery made it, although it was the summertime. So I might take that route again to see how the battery does. The other one finished with like 60% of its battery life, although it really starts dropping rapidly after 60%. Like you go 22 miles, you get to 62%, but then you go 8 miles and you use like 40% of that 60%. So you move down from 60% to 20%, but it's only 8 miles. So, or something like that. I mean, I'm not exact. That's not exact, but you don't get the same ratio or miles per percent that you do early on than you do later on. So once we get to the park, we've gone about 10 miles. So at 10 miles, looks like we're at 84%. So we're probably going to be in the 80s, I mean the 70s with the first battery. So maybe it'll be doing about the same. That'll be good, because I want to keep the other battery. Yeah, Aventon customer support is going to be surprised when I talk to them next time and say, nah, let's just forget it. I'll just keep the battery I got. And they'll be thinking, after all that work we got to approve your return, you're not even doing it. Probably be the first time for one of those things. Sure. Hey. That garbage can is still here. Whoa, garbage can. Of course, no cars coming, so that's good. Get around the garbage can a little easier when I don't have to worry about cars. Still don't like it though. Alright, let's see what the navigation says. Alright, 11.3, that's about the same. Oh, a little bit faster. 13 instead of 12. Alright, we're at 75% now. So 75 versus 70, only 5% difference. That's not much. Okay, so that's going to be end of this test. Or for today.